What is Alchemy API in Bluemix? Alchemy API is delivered through Bluemix. It expands the number and types of scalable cognitive computing APIs available in the Watson ecosystem. Cognitive computing APIs are focused on application of algorithms and mathematical models to analyze human language. Using Alchemy API, you can analyze unstructured content, exposing semantic richness in the data. Also detect, label, and extract important details from image data. Alchemy API provides a cloud platform for building smart applications that rely on rich understanding of human language and images. Alchemy API provides unsupervised deep learning techniques to correctly understand the content contained in text and image data. Why would I use Alchemy API? Alchemy API processes billions of API calls per month across 36 countries and in 8 different languages: English, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and Swedish. Using Alchemy API, you can identify 95 plus languages in URLs, HTML files, and text at a high rate of accuracy. The extracted metadata can be returned in XML, JSON, and RDF formats. Alchemy API provides the ability to train very large and deep neural networks efficiently. These API calls crack the code on unstructured data by uncovering the structure that exists. Alchemy API provides advanced disambiguation features to resolve detected companies, locations, and people to a unique instance. Alchemy API disambiguates text in much the same way as a human. When a potential ambiguous entity is encountered, the surrounding text is examined for contextual cues. A series of statistical algorithms are combined with a huge dataset describing the world's objects, individuals, and locations. What are the API endpoints offered by Alchemy API? Alchemy API offers two categories of APIs, namely Alchemy Language and Alchemy Vision. Alchemy Language offers 12 text analysis functions: entity extraction, sentiment analysis, concept tagging, keyword extraction, relation extraction, taxonomy classification, author extraction, language detection, text extraction, microformats parsing, feed detection, and linked data support. These REST APIs provide ability to receive responses in a number of formats, including XML, JSON, RDF, and microformats. Alchemy Language supports linked data, thereby exposing, sharing, and connecting data items from different data sources on the web via dereferenceable URIs. Alchemy API provides microformat parsing API that can automatically detect and parse the microformats embedded within a web page. Alchemy Vision APIs use deep machine learning to understand complex visual scenes in their entirety without needing any textual clues. Alchemy API's combined call makes it faster for users to analyze a single piece of content with multiple text and image analysis features. Also, Alchemy API offers SDKs for Java, Perl, Ruby, Python, PHP, C, C++, C#, Node.js, and Android platform. Where can we use Alchemy API? Alchemy API uses neural networks to build multiple layers of abstraction for solving complex semantic problems, essentially provides deep learning in the real world. Alchemy API is used to create applications that automatically gather and synthesize data to make better content and purchasing recommendations, to extract keywords for search engine optimization, and to collect brand intelligence for effective messaging. Some of the use cases are voice search and voice-activated assistants on smartphones, recommendation engines used in web and mobile applications, image recognition to identify objects in images and understand the content and context, image tagging and image search without having to tag photos beforehand, data-driven predictive advertising, real-time bidding advertising, precisely targeted display advertising. Alchemy API launched new deep learning-based Taxonomy API, which makes it possible to create categories when given any arbitrary phrase. Also, pattern recognition to help prevent fraudulent purchases and payment transactions by analyzing data for anomalies, and to discover subtle patterns that characterize disease profiles. Let's look at an application using Alchemy API in Bluemix. In this application, we are using Alchemy API and services in the cloud. We are calling text get text sentiment Alchemy API to check the sentiment for specific keywords in hundreds of news feeds. Next, based on sentiment analysis, we send appropriate text messages to users' mobile device using Twilio service in Bluemix, and send push notifications to users' mobile device using push service in the cloud. With push service, you can send notifications to both iOS and Android devices. We also store the data after running sentiment analysis in Cloud-in database running in the cloud for future analytics.
Making API calls. Alchemy API provides REST API endpoints. You need to get API access key to use Alchemy API, the Getting Started guide, API documentation, SDKs and tooling to start using Alchemy APIs are available at alchemyapi.com under Developers tab. Alchemy API provides capability to identify positive and negative sentiment within any document or web page. Alchemy API sentiment analysis APIs are capable of computing document-level sentiment, user-specified sentiment, entity-level, and keyword-level sentiments. Multiple modes of sentiment analysis provide for a variety of use cases ranging from social media monitoring to trend analysis. API endpoints are provided for performing sentiment analysis on Internet accessible URLs and posted HTML files. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, and RDF formats. Alchemy API provides three endpoints: URL getRanked named entities, HTML getRanked named entities, and text getRanked named entities for identifying people, companies, organizations, cities, geographic features, and other typed entities in HTML, text, or web-based content. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, RDF, and micro formats. Disambiguation plays a key role in entity extraction APIs because human language is not exact. Organizations and companies often have multiple nicknames, name variations, or common misspellings. Alchemy API disambiguates text in much the same way as a human. When a potentially ambiguous entity is encountered, the surrounding text is examined for contextual cues. A series of statistical algorithms are combined with a huge data set describing the world's objects, individuals, and locations. Our entity disambiguation system is extremely robust, capable of resolving hundreds of entity types, more than any other commercially available system. Contextual cues are hints that help disambiguate an entity. Our disambiguation engine employs tens of millions of hints describing traits of the world's objects, individuals, and locations. Alchemy API employs a variety of public and non-public datasets. Hints vary depending on the specific type of entity being disambiguated. For example, when disambiguating people, Alchemy API utilizes information on a person's career, where they are located, who they work for, and so on. Alchemy API provides three API endpoints, namely HTML getRanked keywords, text getRanked keywords, URL getRanked keywords to extract keywords from HTML, text, or web-based content. The keywords can be used for indexing data and generating tag clouds. Keyword extraction is supported in over several languages, enabling even foreign language content to be categorized and tagged. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, RDF, and microformats. Alchemy API provides text extraction APIs, namely URL getRelations, HTML getRelations, and text getRelations, to extract useful information from a web page after removing navigation links, advertisements, and undesired content. This improves web indexing and helps with contextual advertising. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, and RDF formats. Alchemy API provides two API endpoints, namely URL getAuthor and HTML getAuthor, to extract author information from news articles, blog posts, etc. Author extraction enables the generation of tag clouds, sentiment towards specific topics, and more author-specific information. Alchemy API provides three API endpoints that can detect the language of any text, HTML, or web-based content. Alchemy API identifies 95+ languages at high rate of accuracy. It also estimates the number of people who speak the same language. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, and RDF formats. Alchemy API is capable of identifying subject-action-object relations within your HTML, text, or web-based content. Alchemy API provides unique combination of subject-action-object relation extraction, directional sentiment analysis, and identification of subject and object named entities and keywords. Directional sentiment output is disabled by default. To enable directional sentiment analysis, specify sentiment equals 1 as HTTP parameter with your API calls. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, and RDF formats. Alchemy API is capable of extracting RSS feed links embedded within any web page. The API endpoints are URL get feed links and HTML get feed links. These APIs automatically discover syndicated content feeds associated with specific websites or individual web pages. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, and RDF formats. Alchemy API automatically categorizes your text, HTML, or web-based content into a hierarchical taxonomy. Using complex statistics and natural language processing technology, the Taxonomy API can classify your content into its most likely topic category up to 5 levels deep. Deeper levels allow you to classify content into more accurate and lucrative subsegments. For instance, an application focused on identifying content discussing personal lending practices can narrow its classification into subtopics that target decisions with finer resolution. The fourth level deep categories under finance, followed by personal finance, followed by lending, are credit cards, home financing, personal loans, student loans, and vehicle financing. You can use the Taxonomy API to filter or group your content before performing further analysis or to track the high-level topics of your documents. Alchemy API automatically tags HTML, text, or web-based content in a manner similar to human-based tagging. Concept Tagging API is capable of abstracting, understanding how concepts relate, and tagging accordingly. For example, my favorite brands are BMW, Ferrari, and Porsche. Concept tagged is automotive industry. The API endpoints are URL getRanked concepts, HTML getRanked concepts, and text getRanked concepts. Extracted metadata may be returned in XML, JSON, RDF, and micro formats. Given any URL or HTML text, the Image Link Extraction API will scan the designated page to find the most prominent image and directly retrieve URL for that image, which can be appropriately classified and tagged. URL Get Image API is used for automatically extracting image URLs from publicly accessible internet web pages. HTML Get Image API is used for automatically extracting image URLs from uploaded HTML content.